when you have a kimura, most people, when you lose it is when you try to finish it. So you'll get a good grip, and then as I sit up and try to pull up to your knees. Yep, the person comes up to their knees, and a lot of times you end up like this. You just pop your head out. He pops his head out, now he's in a good position. So what you want to do, now you see how his head is already out of my control? Start to run your feet toward me, your head away. And start to shrink your elbow. This way. Like that. So this is how most of you guys are losing. The person's either just rolling up their knees or they're turning in and freeing their elbow. So what I want you guys to focus on when you have this is don't just right away, especially if I don't have control of his head and his arm, I don't want to try to like pull up and try to finish it. Because if he's strong, keep your arm tight, you'll end up like this and then turn up to your knees. As I pull, he just turns up. So when you get this, what I want you guys to focus on doing is controlling his head and his arm and keeping your weight forward on him. So your natural urge is to pull it. What I want you guys to do is to like push forward on him. This is going to immediately stop him from being able to turn this way. If I drive my shoulder in like this, and it also allows me to use my legs to trap his arm and capture his head, and then it's going to be much easier and you'll have much more control. When you do it like this, it's going to be very hard for him to turn up to his knees. Right? If I start to turn away, as he turns away, the other thing you do is I'm just going to lay to my side and use my legs to control his head. Right? Ideally, I'll have his head and his arm, but a lot of times when you first do this, you're just going to have his neck. And you can sometimes submit the person here by sort of squeezing your knees together, but usually when you get this position, turn away from me. It's going to be almost impossible for the person to turn away, turn in. And if I keep his elbow off the floor, it's going to be almost impossible for him to turn in. Right? So, and usually what happens is start to push on my knee with your free hand. He'll push on your knee. You can take this leg and step it all the way over and trap the arm. Right? Once you have the head and arm trap, now it's going to be pretty easy to pull the wrist, put it to the floor, and come up and finish. Right? But the whole time you're keeping the person on their back. So you're doing two things. You're keeping him pinned on his back and you're isolating his arm more than it was before. So I want you guys to focus. A lot of you guys, what you're doing right away is kind of circling behind him, which allows him to just break free. What you want to do is try to go in front of him. Think about bringing your shoulder to his hip and driving your head forward. This is going to put all the weight on his elbow. It's going to allow you to keep him pinned. And then try to use your legs. Ideally, I trap his head and his arm with my leg. Right? And then once you have this, you have a million different options from here. Right? Some of you already did this. You realize you can sit into an armbar from here. This is another thing. I can keep pinned for a long time like this. Right? So don't just think you have to hold the kimura and finish the kimura. You can go into a lot of different other positions. So same drill. You're going to start with the kimura, but I want you guys to focus on first controlling the position, then try to use your legs to get some form of control of the person's body, right? And then like advance your control, and then start to worry about finishing. Right? Same drill, 1, 2, 3.